Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2025 BMW M4. This is the xDrive Competition. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. So this M4 is finished off in Alpine White, and it has an MSRP just over $110,000. Now this is powered by the 3-liter twin-turbo inline-6. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic. For the competition model, this pumps out 523 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the xDrive all-wheel drive system, propelling this 3,800-pound sports car from 0 to 60 in as quick as 2.8 seconds. It has a top speed of 174 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city, 22 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.5 inches. Its overall length is 189.1. It has a width of 74.3, a height of 54.9, and its ground clearance measures in at 4.7 inches. Now, as we take a look at the exterior styling, you'll notice up front there's a different headlight design from the previous model. Everything is still LED, of course. There's a really nice dark housing for the background there. And then this has the very prominent kidney grille. There's a lot of cutouts to provide cooling to that engine. There's also the forward-facing camera, M4 comp badge, a few parking sensors located within that grille too. And this model even has carbon fiber goodies for the inlets in the lower section. There's also a hint of gloss black for the end caps there, and then really nice lines that go off of the grille up to the hood. So it blends in very nicely. And then as we work our way to the side, this has a staggered setup for the wheels. They're 19 inches up front, 20 inches in the rear. This also has the carbon ceramic brakes. You'll notice that because they're finished off in the bronze and gold there, which is a nice accent, really nice distinction too. Along with the two-tone design and multi-spoke design for those wheels. There's the M4 comp badge just behind that. There's also carbon fiber for the mirror caps, which also have the camera and the turn signal. And then the competitions have the carbon fiber roof. All of the window trim is blacked out as well to match the rest of the theme, along with gloss black for the lower side skirt. There's also a prominent line in the lower section of that door, and then we have that coupe-like look coming all the way to the back. Where this has carbon fiber for the spoiler, the backup camera is in the BMW badge itself. This has a new set of LED taillights that have the fiber bundles within them. And then there's all the parking sensors, more gloss black, the quad tip dual exhaust, and then there's carbon fiber for the entire lower diffuser there with all of those fins to give it a really sporty look. Now with the automatic, you do have remote start, so you can use the key fob for that. You can also use the key fob or the button up underneath to gain access to the trunk, where this does have the power trunk. Now in the back, you get a little bit of storage over on the left side, same with over on the right. There's no storage underneath the floor, but you have a good bit of cargo space, and then you can go one step further and fold down the back seat. So when you do that, you get a lot more interior space, making this a very nice practical coupe that you can daily drive. You can also use both of those controls to either just close the trunk or lock the vehicle as well. If the vehicle does lock, simply just grab the door handle to unlock, and then you have the sensor there to lock it. Now this particular model has the Yas Marina interior, which is a really nice color combo. You'll notice all the light blue and yellow stitching, and then there's all the brushed aluminum accents, Harman Kardon for the audio. There's the memory seating adjustments, your window and side mirror controls, trunk release, and then a little bit of storage down below, and then all of the leather finished in black there. And then take a look at the two-tone design, three-tone design basically, for these seats with the blue, yellow, the black inserts. They are automatic seats, so all those adjustments are down on the side, except the one manual adjustment for that leg support. Now this is a 4-seater, so pull on this tab here, and the front seat is going to work its way forwards, allowing you enough space to hop into the back, where at 5'10", it's really not all that bad. You have plenty of legroom. There's also some climate vents there. And then my head is touching the headliner here, but I could ride around town. This isn't a vehicle to go on a several-hour trip, but I could ride around town and be just fine. Now you also have the middle seat here that does open up. So if you need to put that down, you can. You have the armrest, a little bit of storage there, and then some large windows too. So it's very spacious in the back. So at my height, I would be just fine. And then when you put the backrest in that position, the seat will move back into where it was located before. Now this M4 is also equipped with the solid Alcantara steering wheel. It has the flat bottom design to it, lots of carbon fiber accents that are even on the massive paddle shifters. There's M1 and M2 cruise control settings on the left. Right side you get volume along with tuning, Bluetooth and voice commands. But let's fire up this M4 and take a listen to how it sounds. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster, you'll see on the left side there's miles per hour along with fuel. On the right side there's tach, engine temperature, or what gear the vehicle is in. Now if I use this button right in the middle, this is how you can get through the rest of this content. So you can scroll through all of this as needed, just depending on what you would like to see. So you have a good bit of vitals that you can monitor. And then you can also scroll over to the head-up display. So when you go into the head-up display, you have a few different settings that you can monitor as well, just depending on if you'd like to see your directional view, standard view, or reduced view. Now you can actually change both the gauge cluster and the head-up display by pushing on M mode down below. You can go into Sport or Track. Sport and Track are essentially the same, where you have a little bit more performance specs on the gauge cluster as well as a massive tach up on that head-up display. So really nice just depending on how you are driving for the day. Over on this left side, you get a little bit of storage. There's all of your headlight adjustments along with one air vent. The dashboard is covered in leather. And then as we look at the infotainment system now, you have a lot more to go through. So on the home screen, you have all of these widgets that you can customize and add depending on what you'd like to see. You have a shortcut to your phone. You can also get into your M Drift Analyzer, your M Lap Timer, as well as Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all of your lighting, your seat comfort, quite a lot of apps that you can scroll through. There's also your climate adjustments. You can pull up the navigation and your music too. Now in this fixed lower bar, there's also shortcuts to your heated and ventilated seats, as well as the heated steering wheel and the temperatures on both sides. This model is also equipped with carbon fiber. You'll notice two air vents in the middle. There's also power and volume and tuning. This gets wireless charging along with some auxiliaries and cup holders. You can hide all of that way with the carbon fiber lid. There's also all the additional shortcuts for the infotainment system. So you don't have to use it as a touchscreen system. You can use all of those shortcuts, which is very nice. Now with the M4, this is how you put it into reverse, where you get that backup camera with the 360 view. This also has automatic parking and the backup assistance. You have the 3D view here that you can go through as well, and then a few other settings just depending on the visibility that you need. Now you can go back into drive, put it into sport mode. Park is also on the back, and you have the ability to adjust the transmission and how quick or slow it shifts. There's traction control, shortcut to the forward-facing camera, so that's how you can pull that up. There's your engine start stop and parking sensors, and then you have M mode, which I showed. Setup is how you can get into M1 and M2. So this is how you can go from efficient to Sport Plus or Comfort and have those set up and ready to go. So you can just push on a button and have those settings. You are ready to drive. Now there's also the exhaust note, auto hold, and the e-brake. You get a little bit of storage with some auxiliaries. You get a little bit more storage in the glove box. And then up top there's garage door buttons, and then you have some dome light controls. And then here's a look at visibility. It's pretty open over that right side. You have some large windows, and then you can even see out of that rear window over the left side. So you really don't have any blind spots. I've been able to drive quite a few of the 25-year models. It's always nice to show you all the different variations, the color combos, and what these vehicles have to offer. Now, one thing I just want to touch briefly on the manual transmission, which I haven't been able to drive yet. I feel like that's not going to be quite as popular as the automatics. From what I have seen and read, the manual M2 or M4 kind of seems like the manual M2. It doesn't have quite that solid engagement like the Toyota Supra does, which is interesting because the Supra is a BMW basically. So the shifts and the engagement isn't quite as exciting with how quickly this xDrive can shift, especially when you put it in the highest shifting for the transmission setting. So I hope to drive a manual just to get a better feel for it, but with the automatic here, you have so many different adjustments that you can go through that it's almost more driver engaging than the manual. And the handling in this is amazing. It corners well, and it's that level of performance that you were looking for, especially from a six-figure vehicle. Now, these start in the $70,000, $80,000 range, and so just depending on options and specs, you can go from there with what you would like. So you can get rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, manual, automatic, so many different options to cater this to your needs. But driving it out on the road, it's a very nice vehicle. Now, this is a vehicle that if you are buying, you know what you're getting into. It's not a harsh vehicle by any means, but it's definitely a sporty feel, if that makes sense. So you know you're in a vehicle that is highly performance oriented, but it's also nice to daily drive. I personally don't have any issues with this. If I were to buy one, I would go with the M4, and this would be a daily driver for me. You can feel some of the bumps, but it puts a smile on your face because you know you're in a sports car that has a lot of performance. It's pretty quiet too, aside from the exhaust that we can hear slightly. Seats are also very nice too. They hold you well, and I love this Alcantara steering wheel. It has a great feel to it. With the notches on both sides, you have easy access to these massive paddles. And this is a vehicle too that could be your only vehicle. With its practicality, backseat space, you have the cargo space there. This is something that you can daily drive and pretty much only need the one vehicle. So it's definitely nice in that aspect. And then as we can give it another acceleration here from second gear, that was the quickest shifting setting where you can feel the shifts. Now, if we put it into the lower setting, even put it into drive, so the vehicle does it for you, you will see a huge difference between how the shifts are. So you can set this vehicle up for if you're stuck in traffic, just normal daily driving, it will shift a little smoother, or if you are ready for some performance driving, you're going to get those quicker, crisp shifts where you can feel a little bit of it. So again, so many personalities, so much character to make this a lot more engaging and just giving you that better feel. Whew. And that good sound too. And we are still in sport mode. We'll put it into the manual setting from second gear. Here we go. And with a mild acceleration, that was even in the slowest setting for the transmission. So it can get much quicker and quicker and crisper than that. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the 25 M4. Definitely a nice place to be. I love all of these materials too, and then the drive is just incredible. This is a luxury focused vehicle that gives you all of the M performance. And the brakes do a great job at bringing this to a stop as well. Visibility is also very open, so it's very easy to see. And I've had everything in the normal setting. Let's put it into sport mode so we can see a little bit more of that information there. But a mild acceleration, we're already up to speed. This has a lot more potential than I'm throwing at it today for a brand new vehicle. But it is a lot of fun to drive. If you're looking for an all-around one sports car that you could buy, the M4 is a fantastic option to go with. Personally, at some point, when I need back seats, when I need to put that little Recaro in the back, an M4 is my top choice so far. It's hard to tell if I want to go manual or automatic. I haven't been in the manual yet. I've driven the manual M2, but I would probably go with the automatic here, so that way my wife can drive it and have some fun with it as well. And it's so engaging with the driving modes. You're buying multiple personalities with this vehicle, especially with the automatic and the different settings and everything that you can go with. It's a perfect daily driver for any type of driving that you are doing. You are going to have a lot of fun while you are behind the wheel of this vehicle. And as far as its turning radius goes, we may have to back up here. We have the all-wheel drive system. I'm not sure if the rear-wheel drive gives you a little bit more or not, but it's very maneuverable. Especially in a tighter situation like this, you have all the visibility that you could possibly want. You just feel like you're ready to get out on the racetrack. You feel like you are a race car driver behind the wheel. So let's give it another acceleration. And it sounds really good too. Well, that is going to wrap it up for the 2025 BMW M4 Competition. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this amazing machine for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. Give the video a huge thumbs up if you enjoy it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.